Moving on to long ball number 3 here on Friday, July 25th. It's time for the Fab Four. This is the 4 top games to watch in North America this weekend. This is an interactive segment on the show, and because we don't have Jason, there is 2 picks for you guys to grab a hold of. Jenny's going to lead off with the first pick. I'm going to go second. Then MK Ultras, it's on you to pick number 3. And then anyone in the chat, you can pick the 4th game in our Fab Four games of the weekend. So with all that lead in, Jenny, what is the top billing for the Fab Four of the weekend?
The top billing for me, it's going to be the MLS highlights. It's going to be Inter Miami against FC Cincinnati. Is our Messi and Jordi Alba going to be allowed to play in this game? Jason on Wednesday would say that they should not, so they did not play in the All-Star game. Whether they are or not, it's going to be a pretty interesting game. And quite frankly, it might even be a little more interesting if they're not playing, considering FC Cincinnati has not been on top form. Since they kind of blew their lead in the Hellas Real Derby. They're still on top of the Eastern Conference and the Supporters Shield standings, but it kind of feels like Inter Miami is just kind of waiting to pounce with the way Messi's been playing, with the way they've just kind of been lurking, I think is the best way to say it. It feels like FC Cincinnati, even though they're winning games, they're not doing it in their top form. So I think it'll be a little more interesting from a hate watch perspective if Messi and Alba are not involved in the game. This game is on Saturday night, 7:30 kickoff. That will be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So check that one out.
Yeah, interesting. Cincinnati topping the Major League Soccer Eastern Conference, but their goal difference is like 9 lesser than the competitors on their heels. And like you said, Inter Miami lurking. They are only behind because they've played 3 less games. So if they win out their games in hand, they surge to the top of the East. So we shall see. We're talking a lot of MLS and Garber on today's show, just by happenstance. And it'll be interesting to see if that 1 game suspension is upheld. I can't even remember. Did they play in last year's All-Star game? I can't even remember that.
No, they did not. Messi, though, was legitimately injured at the time, I think.
Because of Copa America injury.
Yeah, there's a lot less controversy around that one than there was surrounding this year's absence.
Indeed.
So Mike Thomas is pointing out points in hand are better than games in hand.
Oh, no doubt.
Again, with Inter Miami, they can make, with 3 games in hand on Cincinnati, they can make up that 7-point gap. Fab Four pick number 2 from me. Someone shouted out in the chat already, but I am going to go down a few levels. Elite Amateur Summer Soccer is in conference finals and getting to the final weekend for USL 2, NPSL, and those leagues. So my pick of the week, a bit of a hate watch from me, honestly. The Flint City Bucks versus Minneapolis City today at 5. The Flint City Bucks, of course, play within the same division that my beloved Oakland County FC play, and they make the playoffs every year. They beat Fort Wayne, which we've got some dear MK Ultra Fort Wayne fans, and Flint rudely dispatched Fort Wayne last weekend. So I will, Fab Four number 2, hate watch for Flint City Bucks versus Minneapolis City. That playing out in, what did we say, Interbay Stadium, Seattle,
in Washington.
It's home of Ballard FC of USL 2.
So just real briefly before we move on to the 3rd pick is the USL 2 conference finals. In the Southern Conference is Dothan United versus Fort Lauderdale. The game I mentioned, Bucks versus Minneapolis. Then it's Vermont Green. We've seen some great images of Vermont Green just packing it shoulder to shoulder out there versus Lions Bridge. And then Ballard FC versus Ventura County Fusion. So the final 8 in the USL 2, there's over 100 teams in there. So really parsing down to the elite in the 4th division of American soccer. So 3rd pick, member pick, what do we got?
We are going in to go to the USL Jaegermeister Cup at the suggestion of our friend Jay Hunt here. Bluegrassico. How can we forget this one? It's as far as the Jaegermeister Cup standings are concerned, a game between Lexington SC and Louisville City. It's not going to be a massive, important, big game. Louisville City does need the win if they want to have hope of catching Loudoun United for the top of Group 5. Lexington is mostly out of the tournament. They can still get through on a miracle, but it's an interstate rivalry between two teams that have had varying levels of success. Louisville City, kind of one of the darlings of the USL Championship. Lexington is just up from League One. Hasn't done much in terms of competitiveness, but bringing soccer to a market like Lexington is an important thing for the USL to do as they continue to fill out their geographical map. And as one thing we like doing here on Morning Kick Around, promoting local rivalries. Lexington and Louisville City in the same state, not very far away, should be a good atmosphere, even if the game doesn't quite have the stakes you would want from, say, a league match between these two teams. First time in Lexington as well.
That's a good note. I got to say that the rivalry matchups of the Classico spinoffs, we're getting to the Watergate spinoffs where everything's a gate, everything's a Classico.
That's why they were calling last week. It was the Hartford against Rhode Island, El Clamico. I'm like, no, let's do something a little different here. It's the Chowda Derby.
Chowda. Well, people were telling us last weekend that it was the Clamico, but the what did you say? The Chowda.
The Chowda Derby.
What's better, Chowda Derby or Bluegrassico?
I personally like Bluegrassico.
It's less gross. When I said Clamico to Jason, he withdrew, shall we say?
It makes me think of. You remember this drink called Clamato?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That's kind of what it made me think of. It's like tomato juice and clam spices, and like, what is this? And that's kind of where Clamico brought me.
All right, so member pick is Bluegrassico. Who will be just the chat pick? A bonus pick for the people in the mix here with the absence of Jason Davis. Getting a lot of love for the Bucks here. Bucks legendary team. And sorry, Ryan, Buck for the third season in a row.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But task at hand, what is our fourth pick? We'll go with a loyal listener, Bernardo Castellanos' pick. SAFC versus New Mexico, winner of the group, tops the Jaegermeister Cup, gets home field advantage and faces a wild card. So that seems like a very valid pick there.
Complication factor here, though, you got to keep in mind, Phoenix Rising is up there. So if New Mexico wins and then Phoenix Rising also wins, then Phoenix Rising can top the group there and upset New Mexico's, a little Southwest thrall there. So Phoenix Rising is, where are they? As I'm trying to look through the schedule really quick, I can't see where they're playing. Of course I can't. Oh, they're done. Worries. Never mind. So get rid of everything that I just said because Phoenix Rising is done. They've played all 4 of their games, so ignore me.
So San Antonio versus New Mexico, the fourth pick. And we had our member pick the Bluegrassico. I picked Flint City Bucks versus Minneapolis this afternoon. And then Jenny led us all off the number one in the Fab 4 Inter Miami versus FC Cincinnati. A battle at the top of the East, and a real litmus test for will Garber slap the Argentine legend with the MLS. What would you call it? Skipping, ditching, flakiness.
It skipped school, so they got to spend a day in detention, that sort of thing.
Yeah, indeed they do. Cincinnati. I'm curious what a Cincinnati fan, they probably want to play against Messi, but they probably want to win the game too, and the chances of that. Interesting.
I think the fact that it's happening against Cincinnati is another okay, they can suspend him for this game because Cincinnati doesn't need Messi's help to get all the attendance.
Hey, Andy, Malort Cup. Remind me what that is again. As a former Chicagoite, drank some Malort in my day. I want to know what the Malort Cup is. So yeah, Inter Miami, Cincinnati, Flint versus Minneapolis today, Bluegrassico, and Jaegermeister Cup action. The Fab 4, this weekend. If you're tuned in now and if you haven't hit subscribe, be amongst the 3,000 plus Morning Kick Around subscribers. Help boost those numbers up. More tools and tools and amenities on YouTube open up with every kind of like milestone we hit. So doesn't cost you a darn thing. Helps us out a ton. I'm guilty. I did YouTube for years. Didn't subscribe to anyone. Don't be like me. Join the MK Ultras by taking your support up a notch. So you can hit subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing. No spam, no nothing. And then you can increase your support for the team here at Morning Kick Around. If you're able to, $3.99 a month, you become an MK Ultra. Priority commenting on screen, access to the Morning Kick Around Discord server, early access to videos, bonus content, and more. And it helps us out a whole bunch. Broaden and add depth to the town square we are trying to have for the American soccer conversation. You can also support on coffee.com/morning kick around. We got some specific fundraising goals there. You can follow us on social media. We got a boost in Blue Sky numbers this week. Follow us at mkickaround on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Or you can write us a note, morningkickaround@gmail.com. We get tons of comments on the videos, and those are great. But if you want to elaborate a little bit, it's easier to consume with an email rather than a YouTube comment, even though we love those comments there. And then you can also find us as a podcast. Search Morning Kick Around on your favorite podcast platform.